This is the Bunmo Adaptive Utensil Set. It also comes in the nice little carrying box here, or gift box that you can use, and the carrying case. So I want to talk to you today a little bit about the weight and the difference between the weight of these, the weighted ones, and just a standard utensil set. So first, just a quick thank you to the company for gifting me this in exchange for my review. Now, one reason why I like this is I have the beginnings of arthritis, and so I'm starting to notice more weakness in my hands, difficulty holding things that are thin, particularly with mugs. Not so much silverware just yet, but I do have my mother and grandparents that are dealing with arthritis in more advanced stages, and so this would be something that would be more beneficial for them at this stage. Now, what I want to talk to you about is really the weight of these. These are the lightweight set. So even though they're lightweight, they are going to be heavier than your standard set, and so we're going to take a look at some of the weights here. This is a standard size spoon, and when I weigh it, that is 28 grams. When I weigh this one, which is the Bunmo set, this is 74 grams. Now this across the board is pretty much similar with each one of these. So each spoon, this is going to be about twice the weight as this, but when you're talking in grams, this really is such a micro amount. It is not a lot. It is still extremely lightweight, and because it's so balanced in your hand and you have this wide handle, it really is very nice. It's not something that you really feel like it's too heavy. Now, if you're getting the weighted set, that is going to be significantly more heavy than this, but it's going to depend on what your purpose is for purchasing them. For this set, I would recommend if you have arthritis and you do have a weaker hand grip or any kind of ailment that is going to cause a weaker hand grip, that this would be really well. Now, if you have Parkinson's or you're dealing with tremors, you might want to go with the weighted set, which is going to help still those tremors a little bit to be able to eat. But these are very comfortable. You have the grips on the side. This is a silicone handle, and it's nice because you're not going to slip off into your food. You have even these small little grips right here, as well as the sides, and you even have a hole here, so if you want to hang them, you can. The one criticism that I would have about this set is that the case, I kind of wish that the carrying case were a smooth case that you could just wipe clean, because most likely people that are in like an assisted living place, it is something to consider that you might be washing this a little bit more frequently if you're putting your dirty utensils back inside of it, as opposed to if you had something that was smoother, you'd be able to just wipe it clean. So that is something to consider. You could also keep them in a bag, or if you have a different kind of case that you want to use, you could do that. Now, the one thing about the knife that you should know as well is that this is not very sharp. This is probably not going to be that amazing for steak, but it would work well with chicken or some sort of meat that is a little bit easier to cut, fruits, vegetables. You probably won't have an issue with this knife for those, but it's more like a glorified butter knife. It's definitely sharper than my butter knife. It's a sharper than butter knife, but it's not as sharp as a steak knife. So something to just keep in mind. But overall, it's a great set, but you should be aware of the weight, that it is slightly heavier than a standard set of utensils, but it's not as heavy as the weighted one. So it's really going to depend on what your purpose is for, but it is very, very balanced.